Hail, adventurers! Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We are AdventureCheck, and we are here to continue our story of the Darkening of Mirkwood. So I hope the players are ready to go because they are driving this tonight.
But I don't have a license.
If we get pulled over, just change seats. It's fine.
We heard AdventureCheck do not condone breaking any laws.
We do not. I was gonna say we do not condone this.
Get in, losers. We're going adventuring.
And losers, we're going to Mordor. Alright. So, tonight is a fellowship phase. So those of you that probably saw last week, you know that the characters were getting into this section of the adventure. Anyone who might be new or is not familiar with either Adventures in Middle-earth or its actual own version, as it's known, is the One Ring. Kick my mic. That's good. That's what I needed to do right there. That was on cue. Adventures in Middle-earth. Adventures in Middle-earth is the 5e version of the One Ring. So basically, the Fellowship phase is a point in the story where the party is done adventuring for now. They've resolved whatever conflict they were going through. And this is a time for them to reflect upon themselves, return home if they so choose, and do undertakings to better develop and narratively develop their characters. And that is what tonight is. So, we'll begin with a recap of last week. So, last week, let me get some music. Let's get some music. Let's
all go to the movies. Hi, Kevin.
So last week, the Fellowship concluded their valiant defense after taking the western forest gates of Mirkwood.
My gate.
The two that were last standing for a brief moment, Maethon and Nela, fought to the bitter end, or at least they thought it would be, until Bjorn, with Salfos at his side, arrived with the Bjornings and drove off Viglin's forces.
Thanks, Salfos.
He ran as fast as I could.
Yeah.
They ran as if the whips of their masters were behind them.
Freaking DeLorean speed.
It's not that fast. 88 miles an hour is not that fast. There's a storm outside.
Oh.
It looks dark.
Upon Bjorn's timely arrival, the Fellowship was able to get a brief moment of breath, and then they were escorted back down to the Easterly Inn by two Bjornings, where they gave the updated news to the two hobbits there, and concluded their business by sealing the deal that would allow the Easterly Inn to host foreign workers coming from beyond the Vales, to assist the Fellowship and Bofri in rebuilding the old forest road that was still a little bit further south into Mirkwood, but this was a good stop-off point. They then pressed on back south for Woodman Town. Lindsay is very interested in the rain.
It keeps flashing behind me, so I see it, and I'm just like, great, our cat is now hiding underneath the couch.
It's raining sideways.
Yeah,
There's nothing we can do about that.
Bad. It's pretty bad, so...
They returned south to Bofri, and they would use the first portion of their one Fellowship phase to help rebuild that old forest road. So, before winter sets in, as we begin tonight, the four of you are in Woodman Town. In a cool evening as the sun sets, gathered into one of the gathered in what Bofri has made his temporary home here. A small wood shack within the walls of Woodman Town. Gathered around in front of you, you have a few plates of, to the best of his ability, dwarven cuisine in this woodman settlement. A couple of tankards of ale for all of you, and he's thanking you for what you've done so far, and knowing that you've endured much, but there is still much to do. So, prior to progressing further into the actual development of the Fellowship phase for the first year, is there anything you guys wish to do in Woodman Town, or very much with Bofri? At least pick his brain or get any understanding of anything.
Well, I'm going to be spending like a year with Bofri, so...
You spent 2 years.
2 years with Bofri.
2 years.
All the years.
I mean, is there anything he needs? I know we're spending our first year helping him out, but is there anything else he said he specifically like needs at this point, like extra muscle or whatever?
Workers in any capacity, those that are willing to spare. There's people in Woodman Town that are willing to help out. But the way he sees it, especially in the beginning years of this, it's going to be a lot of upfront work. So the more people in the beginning, the better.
Okay.
So, let's, where are you all going?
I'm gonna hit the road and...
Your mic okay, dude?
Yeah, at least we're just opening something.
Oh.
I'm gonna hit the road and see what happens from there. Maybe stop by and see my kin again.
Oh, okay, so just a family visit then.
Something like that.
What about you two? Invite our gestures to Salfos and Thea?
No, it's a Nela.
Nela?
It's neither, it's Nela.
We just talked about this.
Nelia.
Oh
There
my
is a-
god. I am going to change all of their names at this rate.
The thing that always gets me is Thea and Nela are connected, and I've adventures with both of them as Vidar.
Yep. Yeah, that's the hard one. No, no. Nela is the one with the bird and has an attitude.
Nela and Salfos, what are you two thinking? You have nothing pressing? At least not as a fellowship. Where do you think the road's gonna take you?
I think there's things I need to investigate around.
Just saying, the offer to go kill Mordred is still on the table.
Yeah. I do need to check back in on Mountain Hall because I have been gone for a bit. I don't need poor Avana thinking I'm not coming back or whatnot, so it's always nice to try to let her know that the chieftain's alright. But on top of planning to come back and forth between here and Mountain Hall to keep things running, I actually did have the idea to try to investigate a little further and see if it's worth pressing more about Mordred. I was thinking of maybe seeking counsel from others about it.
Ask your questions, do your dance. The way I see it, it's gonna come to eventually to a head where someone's gonna lose theirs, and
See what you did there.
the sooner that comes to pass, I think the better for Middle Earth it'll be. But I'm not fool enough to try anything on my own.
Yeah, it's...
You don't say. The Iron Dwarf.
I hate the dance as much as you. the rest of you, but it's what I'm tied to now. The politics of all of this shit.
You're only tied to it if you choose to be.
Yeah,
You could
but
walk out that door right now.
I also don't want to, make something like a big mistake again and maybe, I don't know, get exiled again or something. So, regardless, as I've said before, I've now got a incredibly diplomatic person at my arsenal. So, if anything, I'm hoping when Thea returns from Rohan, she might be able to help with this kind of matter. But for now, I was thinking of, as I said, investigating a little bit on my own, as I have been trying to do all this time, to see if anything new or different is coming up. But also seeking counsel, not necessarily with the rest of the Woodman leaders, but I'm thinking of speaking maybe with like Radagast about it, or perhaps head back to Lorien and make some more conversation with Lady Galadriel again. I don't know. Spitballing,
Well, that's okay. I think Maethon, Salfos, and I could still take Mordred, the three of us.
Man, I would love to be there with you too, but...
Salfos, Maethon?
What?
What have I been talking about this entire time?
Yeah, but I told you what I was doing.
Oh,
Maybe
and
one-
visiting your family takes
I don't know,
precedence.
Vidar. I thought we decided that wasn't the best course of action.
You all decided that. I'm trying to convince you otherwise because I disagree, but I'm not going to go it alone.
No, as I said, if I was in a completely different position other than this, I would follow you. To at least, I don't know, threaten him to make him stop being an asshole or something. I don't know. But...
Threatening him won't work.
Yeah.
Only action will fix it. But you have all spoken your minds and your piece. I'll
Who
just
knows?
stay here and help Bofri.
Who knows? He's in the Mirkwood area of here. Maybe if he knows that a Bofri is trying to renew that road, might be close enough for him to decide to potentially try to cause trouble for us, and that might be all the more reason for us to jump.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already... Yeah. I've said everything at the end when we were speaking, so this would all just be repetition of what we said there. But, yeah,
Well,
we have to wait, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean I can't try to do some own intelligence gathering or reconnaissance on my own end at the very least. People already think I'm crazy for doing that. Why not let them keep thinking it?
well, in the meantime, I've got a road to build.
You have my assistance with that too. It helps my people, especially among other things.
Well, ain't no use in wasting time around here. Vidar's just gonna lift up his mug of ale that he has, and he's just gonna just drink it.
To us.
Oh yes, to us, and another successful adventure. He goes back to drinking it.
Okay.
Whoa!
Yes.
The outdoors is a different color.
What kind of color?
Well, it was nearly pitch black. Now it's like, when it storms, but like the sun is still out and everything you see outside is like a yellow filter.
Yeah.
That's what it changed to in like 2 seconds from pitch black to this.
Wunderbar. All right.
Tried to get you all to break the DM story to go kill Mordred, but you weren't having it.
I mean, you're more than welcome to try in winter when it comes around, so good luck.
I as a player, I really, really want to, dude. Trust me.
I convinced everyone to go to Lorien. I'm just like, maybe I can convince them to do this too.
Let's go to Lorien. great.
All right. So, you guys retire for the evening, knowing the next morning that you will begin the first day of work on the road. With a handful of people the next morning, including Bofri, the rest of you head out north back towards, in the direction of the mill fort, or at least when you were heading for that the first time. What's so funny?
Chat.
Oh. I don't normally have the cameras in front of me, so I'm now like hyper aware of things. You guys head out. It's a bit of a muggy day. The sun's hiding behind clouds, but you go to the furthest point of where the road begins in the forest, and you begin to start clearing the path, which is going to take a long time. Going through, marching with probably about 10 people in total as the first day. There's not too many people that have responded to the call yet. Bofri has sent word out beyond Woodman Town for assistance as far as Dale, and as far as Mountain Hall in your guys' absence. So, not everyone has received the summons yet, or what have you. But those that are here begin clearing the path, removing vines, cutting back trees, brush, dealing with territorial animals as they come across. Everybody just give me athletics checks.
Roll for taller.
Roll for taller? What is that?
Taller encounter. Does taller come back?
Oh, I'm itching. I'm itching to fight taller again.
Let's not.
athletics?
I'm more powerful than I
Yes,
was
athletics.
before. I'm looking up the rules of miserable to see if I have disadvantage.
Oh my god,
It's all
that's
stuff.
right.
That was all skill checks.
Yeah, that's. I thought. I'm just double checking. No, miserable creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and automatically fails charisma ability checks. And if I roll a natural 1, it right now it activates my
You
madness,
fuck.
Oh god.
which is my shadow lure is vengeance.
Well, fuck me.
Oh, this would be fun.
This would be This would be an absolutely worst time for it to trigger because there's nothing exciting here.
Yeah, it would be. Since it's athletics, can I use my fury for advantage?
I mean, you can try, but you're not going to be making any attacks, so it'll wear off like immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
So
And
I mean,
it's all
this is
abstract
this is the
anyway.
first. This is like the first like few days. So it's a question of
27.
would Vidar rage while doing this the entire time? 27. Okay. Yeah. The combined efforts of the Fellowship with Bofri, you were able to clear a very decent amount of the road before having to trek back to Woodman Town, and you do this over the course of a
Salfos.
few weeks.
I see your athletics modifier. Couple
Plus 9.
of strong boys here.
Cool. Armstrong pose.
I'm strong.
You can make
And-
Brian mad.
What?
I think he's gonna make Brian mad.
Who?
Just mad. I'm just goofing around. Continue.
Okay.
Whatever happened.
You guys, over the next several weeks, continue this, starting off where you were, and the portions of the road are being cleared back, and the forest doesn't seem to be attempting to overtake them. It will require maintenance, but that is something Bofri says we'll have to deal with once the project is fully completed. In the next month or so, going at this pace, you do eventually come to the mill fort. You encountered Taller with originally and found the Road Warden staff. A bulk of your time for the next 3 days at this location specifically is spent getting it under control, clearing up debris, cutting back the wild grass, getting the vines from the walls, fixing up a bit of the buildings. But there's not much more you can do here. Bofri essentially says that once the road itself is cleared, the next task will be to recover all of these forts. But this is one of the main ones, so you get it tidied up to the best of your ability right now, just to clear the road path, knowing that this might be a stop-off point for work in the future. At first glimpse of winter, the air begins to be getting a bit crisper, a bit colder, and that is the telltale sign in this region that winter is on the horizon. So those that were looking to return home for the next period of their journeys begin to return to Woodman Town, gather their things, and make for home. And that will conclude the first year of the undertaking of the year 2952, as the year comes to a close. And the winter is especially harsh. It is more often than not temperatures that are below 10 degrees. The snow falls and gathers quite deeply. It is not pleasant. People stay within their huts and their homes, huddled for warmth. And those that have holdings, which I believe there are 3 of them in particular, at this point, only Nela, I will address the other 2 because they are not here. Only Nela, I am going to need a holding upkeep check. Vidar, what is your question?
Yeah, just an out of character question about winter. Does Mirkwood lose all of its leaves?
No. No, because of the magic of the green wood of the elves.
Neat.
Oh, good to know. That's kind of cool.
It would be creepier if it did. He had all these gnarled trees full of spiders and monsters.
But if you head further south towards Dol Guldur, the more corrupted, tainted areas of Mirkwood, you might find trees that do lose their leaves.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, but currently, with the corruption held at bay for the most part, the Elven King's magic is still enough to keep it from happening. So, Nela.
Yes. How do I roll that?
Give me 1 second. I'm just double checking something.
3, 2, 1.
It's at the beginning of this book because it was introduced in this campaign.
And this is for Mountain Hall as my holding, right?
Yes. Your
Hold it.
Your holding is rated at a +4, just so you know.
So, like,
It
okay.
as superior is what its description is. An example would be rich hunting grounds, a large inn, or a popular shop. It's the whole town essentially for you. Those within the town might have +0s, +1s, and +2s, but as an average, it goes up to a 4. What's your standard of living? Is it
frugal?
Marshall? You're frugal.
She's frugal.
Okay.
Which doesn't make any sense because she's had like over 70 gold ever since starting as an adventure.
When Brian ruined the economy.
Well, no, I mean, she accumulated gold when Matt was first DMing for all of us too. So, I mean, she's at 46, but still, like, she's for someone.
So,
maybe it's frugal because she's been hanging on to this money. So
it's up to you what standard of living you want to hold the holding to. As a woodman, it is frugal, but if you choose to, you can opt to try and keep it at a higher standard of living, though the DC will just increase.
If it's
The benefit to doing that, if you beat the DC or meet it, you would have greater returns, essentially.
right, is superior the highest?
No.
No. Okay.
No, so superior is just what it's rated at. That has nothing to do with the standard of living.
I know, but like if I'm rolling, oh, you're talking about rolling to increase the standard of living, not the.
Yes, so the standard of living essentially sets the base DC for the
Right.
check. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you wish to, because frugal is only one step above poor, so it's a fairly easy DC, though the winter is affecting that. Because it's a really bad winter right now.
Right.
If you want to, you could try and be like, I'll hold it to a martial standard of living. Your DC will go up to try and do that, but
Okay.
you could, in theory, get a bigger return as a holding. So do you want to stay at frugal, or do you want to try and do more?
I want to see it prosper, so I will try Marshall.
Martial. Okay.
Marshall.
No points for that.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna read this off for everyone's information because we haven't ran a holding upkeep, both on stream or in general like this before. So I just want to make sure everyone is getting the knowledge here. During a fellowship phase that represents the end of a year, all players whose heroes have a holding must make a special check called the holding upkeep check. The DC for the test is determined by the hero's standard of living, as producing a frugal result from a holding is easier than a prosperous one. A hero can voluntarily choose a higher standard of living, which they will benefit from until the next holding upkeep check. The player rolls a d20 and adds the hero's proficiency bonus and the holding's rating. So in your case, you'll roll d20, add your proficiency, and then add 4.
Okay. Roll 1d20 plus what's my proficiency? 4 plus 8. Oh.
What is it?
13. I rolled a 5. I'm not a fan.
The holding has struggled this year. The hero must pay equal to the holding's rating in gold in order to achieve their base standard of living.
Okay.
If the hero cannot pay the upkeep cost, the rating of the holding is reduced by 1.
Okay. How much do I?
So the holder must pay equal to the holding's rating gold. So this is where the economy is mildly broken, but since you're frugal, you would essentially have to pay 4 gold.
To keep it at frugal? Or to do the martial that I requested?
To keep it at frugal.
Okay.
Otherwise, the rating of the holding will drop from superior to respectable.
Ah, okay. Yeah, 4 gold. No problem.
Yeah, for somebody hoarding 30 gold.
I have 46.
Well, a bunch of that money originally was from the holding from having Mountain Hall. When Nela returned, prior to that, I told you, here, this is how much money she would have from being chief.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. I just don't remember that. It's fine. Whatever. Continue. I removed 4 gold. And I assume I can't just provide any more to like have it as a martial status or something,
That's
right? Not how it works.
No,
Okay.
That's not how it works.
No problem.
I will say for those that have holdings, there is an undertaking called tend to holding. So in your second fellowship phase, you could opt to do that if you so choose. A character may spend a fellowship phase undertaking to improve the holding. If you do, you can elect to spend gold pieces equal to thrice the holding's improved rating. Example, 3 gold to go from +0 to a +1, 6 gold to go from +2, and 9 gold to go to +3, so on and so forth. The holding rating is then increased by 1 at the end of the fellowship phase, and a holdings rating can never exceed a +6. A hero can select this undertaking after winning a potential holding during an adventuring phase. After spending the undertaking in hard labor but spending no coin, the hero now has a holding with a rating of +0. Some of you may recall that this is what Vali and Anelia did in Sunstead.
Yeah.
So, but that concludes the holding upkeep check. So, Mountain Hall this time around didn't yield you anything. In fact, it costed you money. But it was a bad winter that actually added 2 to the DC. So, had you... Wait, no. Getting a phone call. Go away. So, but with that in mind, as winter sets in, and the year presses on,
Winter.
what is the second undertaking everyone is doing? Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I need all the other players to deafen though.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, you know what?
Alright.
Just so stream can hear,
Yeah, Matt, you're
Yeah.
I'm just taking off my headset.
fine. Give me 1 second. Can't I? Ah. Boop.
Oh no. Oh god, everyone's video just died.
That was weird. We're good. Okay, Salfos.
Oh my god, all of your guys' video died for me. That was weird. Alright, I'll just keep going like I'm still here, I guess.
I can see you, so I assume
Okay.
you can too.
Okay. Just mine. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think Salfos is going to want to pursue, since he kind of got an inkling of leads about restoring his house. I think he's going to still pursue more leads around the Dale Mirkwood area.
Okay.
Lake
Where did I
Town.
put my pen. So you were going to essentially return home back towards Dale.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you head there, and you beat the winter there. So you essentially start the winter in Dale, and you have your contacts that you work with to get an inkling of your family, who they once were, and where they may or may not be now. Is there any particular undertaking you're looking to do, other than narratively seek answers?
Narrative undertaking, or let's see here. Let me look up here. Wow, PDF. I think. Let's see, I got 2 shadow points. I could heal shadow if I want. Good. Here we go. Books up. Fellowship phase 199. So, just for those who maybe aren't familiar, so we have, for undertakings, I have the options of meet a patron, open a sanctuary, receive title, recovery, training, gain a new trait, or I can heal corruption. Research lore. That looks like it, right? Cool. So, interesting.
The research lore bit might be what you're looking for in particular to Salfos's family.
Yeah, we could go ahead and do that one then. We'll give that a shot. So,
Okay.
We'll go ahead and start looking around Dale and maybe possibly Lake Town since I've had leads there.
Yeah. So, research lore. There is much history and ancient lore in Middle-earth. The player hero may consult moldy scripts, private libraries, or the minds of the wise to search for an answer to a specific question. After completing this undertaking, the player hero may make a intelligence, history, nature, or lore, or riddle a check with advantage. If the check succeeds, the lore master will answer 3 of the player's questions concerning a topic related to the skill used. If the check fails, the player hero will still learn 3 things, but 1 or 2 of them will prove false, cryptic, or misleading. So,
toggle that advantage.
Well, so who, how are you researching? Like, where do you go to someone? Do you speak to them, or do you like look through?
I think I'm gonna look through like the
manuscripts?
halls, through lineage, find the family event that downfalled the family because his current last name's his hidden moniker. So he's gonna look through the scripts, see what's going on, see what evil things, and then he might look for maybe if that requires like a lost relic or anything, start looking, seeing where that relic might be last known, and then look for probably the powerhouse players that are currently playing to help restore him. So I think those would be the 3 things that he'll look for.
Okay. Based on that,
I'm gonna go with history since it's
I was gonna say that is a history check.
it's
Go ahead
also
and make a.
proficient in it.
Well, I tell you which check to make. It's not up
That's
to
true. That's true.
you. So
I'm
based on
glad.
going through actual records,
Yes.
that will be a history check. So go ahead and make that an advantage. As you spend countless hours within the libraries and record halls of Dale and Lake Town, going back and forth every now and again, trying to find family histories, family trees, crests, events that link one from the other. So with a 23, that will succeed. So you may ask your 3 questions.
Okay. What was the event that downfalled my family?
The event. Find my notes here.
If you don't have it, you could always get back to me later. We can leave it as a mystery.
Nah.
Oh, he says nah, chat. He says nah.
Just writing something. What event? Yeah, the event that you can come to at least as a breadcrumb that might lead to more answers down the road is the Battle of 5 Armies.
Oh, the 5 armies. Got it. Is there a like relic or heirloom treasure that I can seek to help fix the wrong?
There is not one documented in the records, unfortunately. Yeah, and one was never written to paper and recorded from the family, and if there was, it was not kept in like the formal record halls of the town. So that might be something that might be located in like an old family home or a vault or something somewhere, if one does exist.
All right, and who are the lords, ladies that I need to seek to help restore this?
Well, The lords and the ladies.
All the lords say, hey. Oh.
Where is... Oh. It's because I'm looking in the wrong place. That might explain things. There is two different individuals in terms of names. They're members of different households. The worst is, or the worst, the first, not the worst.
The worst, not.
The first is Lord Cole, Kol.
Okay.
And the other is Lady Runa, Runa.
Okay.
They are both part of the upper society of Dale within Bard's Kingdom. Their families have deeper lineage than most others, and they seem to be better, more well connected throughout the merchants and the other businesses within Dale. So they're sort of the houses that like know a little bit about everybody. So whether or not they might be directly responsible for what had happened, they might know something.
Writing notes. Okay. Okie dokie. That's what Salfos is
All right.
tracking. Hey,
Then
think about them now in chat.
everyone else is now good to come back.
Yeah, I'll come back now.
And I'm back.
Yeah, I'll come
Alright.
back now.
Never.
That was
So-
a suspicious history check.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I will.
I'm
Gonna
worried
keep
about
me
that.
up at
Don't tell
night.
me I live my fucking life.
So, unfortunately, Salfos has left the area.
Okay, bye.
I mean,
the way you phrase that, like you leaving the area was expected, but like
TTYL, bye.
I
Or
feel
he'll
like,
say goodbye. He
I
says
mean, most. Sorry, go ahead.
he's just gonna say, well, he'll go to Vidar first because he knows Vidar the most. And Maethon. Everybody. So he'll just tell them.
I was gonna say, fuck us, I guess.
No, I mean, no, I get it. Fudge. Nela
You're
and
doing
Salfos
it too.
barely know each other.
That's your own fault.
Mix up the names.
Well, Vidar Maethon, I have business calling me back eastward, so I will head that way. You'll find me around Lake Town and Dale if you ever need me or you need to send word.
Shame to see you go so soon, but I understand.
I'm
I
sure.
guess I need to head.
I'm sure our paths will cross again. They seem to always do, but
You know me, I'm always around hunting darkness, so
one day we'll leave like this and we won't come back together.
Damn.
you were close this time, but you don't need to be so dark, my Master Dwarf.
I'm just saying, I just had a near-death experience, so I'm a little, I'm a little deep right now.
Nothing that a little ale can't fix.
You're right. I don't have enough ale in my system. Well, safe travels. I'm sure I'll be on the other side of the force someday.
Yes, I must go now before Winter's breath arrives. My lady, it was good to meet you and pleasure to fight alongside you.
Appreciate the sentiment. You can keep it as Nela, but same sentiment. Thea has mentioned you and your accomplishments with them in Great Elves, so it's nice to have a connection such as yours for later on.
I'll give my best to Lady Thea.
Yeah, whenever she returns, I will.
Do-do.
Okay, Netflix.
Safe travels.
The Pride and Shadow effects.
Show us the meaning of haste.
And Salfos departs from Woodman Town, heading north.
Exit stage left.
Who's next?
I mean, if we're just gonna, we can just go in the camera order, and that means I would be next.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll
Doesn't
go
matter
for
to
it.
me.
Vidar's undertaking is pretty easy unless something terrible happens.
Vidar, Bofri, and yourself, and if there's anything that's not an undertaking that you like at least want to narratively do or say what you do during winter, like you're more than welcome to.
So I will say narratively, Vidar isn't taking the rest he should, like the shadow, because he has a lot of corruption right now. His lust for vengeance is as high now as it ever has been, and
Like Snoop Dogg high, or
and this winter that's harsh, and just with this work to do and no outlet for it, just allows it to fester like a hibernating bear. And so while he's there working with Bofri, his thoughts are often detracted from his work. He's often distracted from his work by these thoughts of vengeance against the race of men, those who harmed and assassinated Friar, and against Mordred for having betrayed him. Like, you know, it's classic. A lot of mediums, dwarves hoard grudges, like lifelong grudges, and I feel like for the first time ever as a player, I'm seeing that with Vidar and Mordred, because like Vidar can't let the fact grow that Mordred took his stuff and then offered no aid from the Great Elf. And so just all of that is just festering inside him, just making him bitter as he works through this bitter, cold winter.
Over the next year, Bofri notices this. Not that you're probably hiding it in any capacity, but he does pick up on it, and he though younger than Vidar, he does try to offer some form of counsel, and he does lean on the fact that he's Bofri's son, and he tries to pull from Bofri's experiences of Thorin's company and the Battle of Five Armies and dealing with Smog and the whole line of Durin's folk and what they've had to endure. And it's a lot of he understands, he knows what is troubling you, why it's troubling you, but the one thing he comes back to is in some capacity you have to let it go. And he says that from a place knowing full well that that's not easy, and that is a large thing for any one being to do, and he knows that. And it's not of saying like get the fuck over it. It's
like Durin's beard, Bofri. I've tried to let it go. I tried to live a peaceful life in the Great Elf, to leave everything behind.
I get it. I do. But if we let every little thing eat away at us over time, There can be no happiness in this world. That very thing took Thorin. The dragon sickness. That undesired need to grasp something, to hold it. It's the same thing. A grudge is a grudge, but to hold ill will and malice towards other people, to carry it around with you like this, it's no way to live.
Well, maybe one day I'll be able to let it go. But it is not this day.
I understand. I'd encourage you, while you're here helping out, mingle with the woodmen. Get to know them. You'll find after a while they're not very different from you and I. Not everyone, not every man is like the one in the south. And while he'll get what's coming to him, I have no doubt of that. Like I said, it is not this day.
Yeah, this day
shouldn't
we
be
gotta
the-
move that fucking tree.
Well, you know, if you would have fucking pulled it yesterday like I asked you to. You're coming back, you're all sweaty, and you're like, I'm tired, I can't do it anymore. I'm like,
This fucking tree.
have you heard the stories and the rumors about you, specifically about you in these towns? By Darren's beard, you think
Vidar's
you're
gonna
you
go
think
in a
that
rage, in a fury.
by Darren's beard, you think you could just lift an entire village, but here you are, complaining about one tree. And you just rage and run off. Oh, well, there it goes.
Vidar just helps Bofri the rest of the winter.
Yeah, when winter ends, and then over the next year, more people show. You get a handful of people from like Lake Town and a few from Sunstead, seeming answering his call, and a few from Mountain Hall now, as the spring thaw comes in. With this larger workforce, Bofri redirects the efforts to reclaiming and maintaining the forts that are scattered across the road. At this point, the road from west to east, by the conclusion of this, are mostly cleared, and the forts, though in okay condition, they've at least been cleaned up and tended to. So putting like a guard force in there would be a lot easier for them to maintain and keep the creatures of nature at bay to better protect the road. By the time the year concludes and this task is essentially completed, Bofri says that the next step is going to be actually restoring the road itself. So laying new brickwork, potentially enchanting via dwarven runes, and actually bringing it back up to a traveling condition. But that will be next time. And that is Vidar's two undertakings. And before we progress further, we are going to take a 5-minute break, and we will come back and handle Nela and Maethon. So don't go anywhere.
Cool.
Wait, who?
Welcome back, adventurers. I hope you're having a good time tonight. I hope your week is going well. I mean, it's Tuesday. We have a whole...
It's only Tuesday!
Well, it's Tuesday. That doesn't mean it's going well. Yes, it was
Tuesday,
Monday. Monday, shit.
I say, I'm on my third glass of rum, mate.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, well,
Why'd I become British?
cheers.
Cheers, governor.
Anywho, so
I'm a fucking pirate.
So, thank you all for joining us this evening, and yes, I do hope your week is going well, and I hope it gets even better from here. Because, you know, it's tomorrow.
Hump day! You
Yes,
asked.
Kevin. Yes, Kevin. Yes.
That is
It's hump
technically
day.
a correct answer.
You're fired.
Finally! God. What kind of
Wow! I've been trying to get out of this place forever.
I did tell
Oh,
Brian I was
nice.
gonna be fashionably late tonight, and he was like, "Listen, Dick."
Tomorrow night it will be our mini paint and chat with Lindsay Ovania,
Hi.
where she will continue finishing her blue dragon. It's very blue.
It's very blue. I gotta do the wings and the earth. That's basically it.
You heard it here, folks. Tomorrow is Wangs and Earth.
I'm tuning in.
Good, you better.
I'll tune in and be
Yeah.
like, "I'm not sure I was promised what was said."
here for
But
the
yes,
win.
I'm excited to get him done. I don't know how much longer it will take, so if he gets done like halfway through the stream or something, I will probably start another thing for funsies then, just to kill time.
Oh, that's great. So yes, she'll wrap up the blue dragon, and then whatever is next in line. But you can check that out tomorrow night and come see the exciting conclusion of the blue dragon.
He goes rar.
The jury's out on that one.
You know, I always give my dragons this kind of voice. The dragon looks at you as a meal. But what if the dragon could have like this kind of voice?
Like just my voice, like,
Yeah.
hi!
Y'all clearly have not watched Dragon Tales.
I did watch Dragon
I was
Tales
gonna
as a kid.
say,
Lindsay the same that voice, like, "Hi, prepare to be fireballed and
yeah,
destroyed."
hi!
Hey, I'm gonna kill you now! Oh my god!
You're just
I had a date very similar like that once.
you're just describing Brightwing, and it's awful.
Oh my god, yeah! Matt and I just like...
Yeah, it's too good.
They don't talk like that.
Hi there! My name is Silver! I don't know.
How much? I thought I only had 2 of these, but now I'm thinking I had more.
Dragon breath goes, Pah! Okay, I'm done. Let's move on.
Just glitter? Is the dragon breath
It's
just
glitter.
glitter?
I don't know what kind of thing. It's so I don't know the metallics that well. Does Silver Dragon have a like an element or
think-
something?
Yeah, silver I think is ice.
That's not the white dragon.
Ice. They usually well, the white is chromatic, not metallic. And
but I
so
thought
you
the-
usually have some overlap.
Oh, okay.
So an adult silver dragon, icy blast. And the metallic dragons usually have a second breath weapon too.
Oh.
For example, silver dragon has the ice breath, but also the paralyzing breath.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Icy blast. Not sure if breath
Good thing
weapon or
metallic
delicious
dragons are
beverage.
I'm gonna get a so not tomorrow's stream, but the next one. I'm now gonna find like a silver dragon wormling, and just because of all of this, I'm gonna go pick it and give it that kind of voice.
I gotta play one of your games.
So,
Anyways.
yeah, that's tomorrow. And then Friday night, Lindsay will be, or Friday early evening, starting 5:30 sharp, will be her Let's Play of Knights of the Old Republic. She should
It's
be
me.
getting Yes, it's still you. We're still talking about you.
Hi, sorry.
Should be getting close to the end there, I believe. You know, much left to do, but once that's done, we'll see what happens next. And then comes Saturday, bright and early, Matt will be doing a DM prep session. So
It's actually
swing on by
probably
for
we're
that.
probably gonna transition away from DM prep and just start doing just general homebrew stuff. I think this Saturday I'm just gonna work on homebrewing some player classes and maybe a feat or two.
It'd be fun. DM homebrew prep session workshop.
Because
DM workshop.
I'm
Wordy.
inspired to finish. I'm inspired for a couple of classes I'd like to see in the game.
Cool. So yes, that will be Saturday, so swing on by for that. And then we'll be back here next Tuesday to continue what we're doing right now, but we're not done here right now, so you don't even know what we're continuing yet, so we might as well get back to that, probably. Yeah, I guess we'll do that.
You're forgetting something.
Yes, battle bards. I'm testing all of you.
I was
passed.
waiting for that. I was like, wait, what? We're starting right now?
I'm not good at tests.
Did you study?
Battle bards
No.
for all your music needs.
So, for those of you that are joining us this evening and have joined us on other streams, you might recognize the plethora of background music and ambient noise that we use specifically on Tuesday nights. These are all courtesy of Battle Bards. So Battle Bards is a music subscription service to help bring your TTRPGs to that next level of immersion, whether they be virtual like this over things like Roll20, Discord, Fantasy Battlegrounds, literally anything, or in person, gathered around a table using real dice, seeing real people. I'm still not convinced everyone that I'm looking at tonight is real. They could be bots. I have no idea.
Shit, he's on to me.
I live with you?
That's exactly what a bot would say.
What? What'd I do?
But so if you
Never
are a
seen you
DM,
sleep there.
so if you are a DM that wants to bring that little extra next step to your games for your players, go over to battlebards.com and check out a BattleBards Prime subscription. That would get you access to their streaming access to their entire library, including plate mail games. So it's 2 different libraries that you get for one subscription, and you have complete streaming access to it. Don't have to download anything. You can just play it right there. But if you do want to download something, everything in store will be 20% off if you subscribe to BattleBards Prime. And then your subscription will also get you access to things like a caster, which we use on Tuesdays, like right now. So DM's here in one room. Everyone else is in different areas of the country.
I'm literally in your basement.
You can just send them a link. You're in a different place. It's a different area of the country. What is it? Z-axis changes. Fuck off.
Whatever axis the fuck you want it to be.
Yeah. Fuck you, axis.
Probably be a great math teacher.
No,
Mr.
you-
Safaro, what's that? The fuck you axis. All right, moving on.
So you send all your players a link, they just go to it, and whatever you decide to play, they will hear on their end. So everyone's on the same page, they all get the same experience. And if you have you can also get a mixer with a subscription, so you can upload your own private audio and mix and match various different audio pieces that you can play to give you that most immersive feeling that you are in a dungeon and there's a lich behind that door and you are about to fight the boss. So,
Let's fucking go.
if that is something that interests you, head over to battlebards.com and get yourself a Prime subscription. And when you do, use our coupon code ADVENTURE to give to support us as well, and hopefully get you guys a little bit extra with your subscription. So, thank y'all.
You're
Are
welcome.
we good? Are we good now? Good.
No.
Hey, fine. What do you got?
The mini painting event.
Okay.
Take it away, Lindsay.
Go ahead. Not as easy, is it?
That's August 14th. Right. Okay.
Okay, no, you got it. You got it. Go.
So we have as you guys may have heard from last week, we announced our next drunk mini finger painting event that is an exclusive event to our Discord channel. The date for that is August 14th, and that will be in the evening, typically around 7 o'clock is when we get started. It's just a really fun way to kind of hang out with us as AdventureCheck as a community, but on top of that, we get to do something a little fun with miniatures. That is, instead of using brushes to paint them, it's finger painting them, you know, like when we were all little and wanting to get messy and stuff with painting colors and all that fun stuff. And then the what else? I just totally lost everything there. But yeah, we have limited spots available for that because we can only send out so many free minis to people. So if you are interested in participating in the event, you can, one, make sure you are part of our Discord server in the community for AdventureCheck, which the link can be in chat, but it's also in our Twitch panel below. Two, post that you are wanting to participate in our mini channel that's in the Discord server. You can tag me or just say in general that you're in and you want to participate, and then all you would need to do is one of us will reach out to you to, you know, get your address so we can send a free mini to you, and the paint is just on you at that point. But it's a lot of fun.
Literally.
You know, if you know, some of us do drink, but it's not like a pressure thing where you have to. It's just fun to do it while being silly. And if you are wanting to just kind of watch the shenanigans that are happening, you could also just join the Discord and join for that event and watch all of us be silly. But it's a lot of fun, and we're excited for the third time that we are doing this. And yeah, and the person who's providing minis this time, Mini Pie, has a it's no longer a surprise because he was too excited to announce it all. But he's got a lot in store for us this round. So yeah, August 14th in the evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us for the Discord exclusive event, and we'll see you there.
You get a free mini out of it.
Yeah,
You do
so you get a free
yeah,
mini. So.
you get a free mini.
And
like, you
from
don't
what
have to
I
pay for
hear-
shipping or
I was
anything.
gonna say,
This is a
word
good
on the
mini.
street
Tim.
is
This is a great mini.
It's also humongous.
Yeah, this is one you're gonna want to be proud of if you're into that. So
Yeah, it's also humongous. So it's really fun to just see how this event of ours is growing, because, you know, now we have two very generous people who are providing for these events, and they just keep providing quality stuff for us, you know, out of their own pocket and everything. So like Paul, who's here in chat, and Minnie, who is busy as always, you guys have like the deepest of like my gratitude and everything. So yeah, August 14th, be there, or I will cry about it. I don't know.
Jeez.
No, I'm kidding. I like friends. Be my friend.
That's
I should stop. Hi.
Alright, anybody have anything else?
Hi, everybody. That's all I got.
You're fired.
well, speaking.
For the second time tonight. Wow.
No, I don't got
Impressive,
anything.
man.
Alright.
You know what?
So let's...
Since I'm fired, can everyone here do a GoFundMe?
Alright. So, we have 2 more fellowship phases to get through, so who would like to continue?
Goes.
If we're moving down the camera line, is it Kevin
I
next?
almost poked my eye.
I don't have the cameras in front. I have the Discord cameras.
If
so
it
I
is,
don't
I'll
know
go
what-
next.
I was going by
Blah, blah, blah.
stream cameras, and then
Yeah,
That's
stream
what I was
cameras.
thinking. I think it's Kevin.
Maethon
How
would
It
be
doesn't
next.
matter to
front of
me.
I don't
I'll go
have
next.
it. Somebody just fucking volunteer. All right.
I'm going. Good.
Good.
Good, I'm glad.
Brian has lost control of the streamers.
He never
He
has
never
control.
had fucking control of it.
That's true.
I mean, this is the
Thinks he
fellowship
does.
phase. You guys are supposed to be driving it. I'm just merely asking who wants. It's the teacher. All right, who wants to do show and tell first?
And
No one?
the overachievers went
If no-
first.
If no one raises their hands, I'm gonna start calling on people.
Fuck, I was always a kid that rose my hand in that scenario.
Same.
Kevin, did you do your homework?
Yes.
All right, come tell the class what you did.
What I did this fellowship phase by Maethon of the Dunedain. My fellowship phase started as this.
All right. So, your first fellowship phase ends just before winter, and you head out, initially heading west, looking for your ranger group. Correct?
Yes.
From what I knew.
Yes. Correct.
You head over the Misty Mountains, and you make for the Hidden Valley. Just as winter starts to set in, it gets a bit difficult to travel from that point, but you're used to the terrain and you know the region well. Though the refuge of the Dunedain in the last few years has been somewhat abandoned. There have been talks of reestablishing a foothold there, but nothing has come of it as of yet. So you look around, looking for signs of your people. Hopefully you hear songs of your people.
Oh, there.
I don't know if it's the song.
You actually turn a little bit southwest from Imladris and head for the Angle, the region known as the Angle. And you find a small encampment there of a handful of rangers, but more importantly, who I believe you were looking for, Morrowind, currently
Yes.
a higher ranking ranger amongst the Dunedain, and mentor to you, and perhaps a family figure as well, who greets you warmly, embraces you, and offers you a seat around the winter fire as they are roasting a hunt from earlier that day. So they seem to be doing well. Is there anything you wish to do with them? Check in on them, talk to them?
Yeah, I'll just be like shooting the shit with them, just kind of getting like the lowdown of what's been happening around here, what's been going on with them, you know, like what the whole situation is.
Situation for the most part, she tells you, is nothing too crazy. They caught... They didn't catch. They followed a party that headed south from Imladris a while ago. Not because they suspected them of ill intent. It was just their rangerly duty. They were just following and guarding unseen the travelers. The traveling party, though, the makeup was interesting. It was 2 elves and a man. Who headed south from Rivendell. They lost sight of them down the side of the Misty Mountain as they started heading upwards. But at that point, it was well beyond this particular group's range of patrol, and they headed back. That was a more interesting thing that they noted. A lot of more of the Dunedain have been in greater communication with each other now. And there's one particular group that have started to head west towards Bree and the old watchtowers of Arnor, and are overlooking the land known as the Shire. And that individual who is leading that up, you've met at least once, and you are at least familiar with, as you've been carrying his message to return, to have all Dunedain abroad return home, and that is Strider. But for the most part, nothing terribly exciting is happening at this point. Just more and more rangers are returning home. to keep watch in some capacity, and that some rangers are now heading west a bit more, heading towards the coastline.
And then any word on establishing a new chief amongst them?
There is one in particular that there are whispers of somebody becoming chieftain of the Dunedain. They have not done so yet. They feel like he is still too young, though he does carry the gravitas of a chieftain.
Interesting. Okay, so while we're sitting around the fire shooting the shit and, just doing like camaraderie kind of things, like complimenting the boys, maybe ladies on their hunt. And once we get once it starts dying down a little bit and everyone starts kind of going off, I'm gonna ask Morwen if I can speak to her alone.
Sure. What can I do for you, Maethon, as she sort of like stands up and sort of like ushers you more away into like a tree line away from the encampment.
So as we walk, and I go, well, this isn't going to be the easiest to say.
Based on what I saw at the Grey Delve, I don't think too much gets harder from there.
Well, as you probably know, ran into my father.
Right.
And it wasn't quite the father-son reunion I was hoping for. But I did manage, and I'm gonna pull out and present it to her, did manage to walk away with this. And it's my father's sword. I'm just gonna present it to her. If she wants to take it and look at it or anything.
Yeah, you take out Bane of the Dunedain. Do you actually unsheath it, or do you just like unhitch it and present it?
Just kind of unhitch it and present it.
Okay, so it's like it's sheath.
Yeah.
So she sees it, and her eyes look it over, and then she extends her hands and takes the sheath and grasps it by the handle, and pulls it out probably about 2 inches to take a look at the blade. Hands it back. It's a fine blade. Though, not really one that we've constructed ourselves.
I was curious about that myself. Just... this sword doesn't sit well with me.
In what way?
Ever since I've taken it, I've had nightmares. I haven't been able to sleep soundly since I got this. Considering I didn't really sleep soundly before, that's saying something.
Well, for what it's worth, she just sort of looks back towards the camp. There's quite a few of us that aren't sleeping well these days.
Do you also have been experiencing nightmares?
Myself, no. But a few of us, from what they've told me.
Notice any correlation between the two? Any particulars?
Tales of a black land, broken, hot. The very air is poisonous.
Been very similar to the dreams I've been having. Feels like I'm stuck in a black land surrounded by that and a just fire looking at me.
Yes, it does not bring me any comfort to hear that this is ailing you as well, but you have a right to know. Myself and Strider, and one of the other captains, sought out Lord Elrond and counsel on this very matter. And he informed us that our enemy has returned.
Our
Mordor.
enemy.
Yes. In the land of Mordor. The eye moves, ever watching.
Felt like was looking at me. It was like a eye of fire saying, "I see you." Haunting.
Not very subtle, is he?
At least he gets to the point as I give like a small smirk.
Must tread cautiously outside these lands. If our enemy has returned, which is probably why Strider has called most of us home. But Sauron is in no condition and at no strength to pose any threats now, but the fact that he is still alive in some capacity after the Battle of the Last Alliance means that there is reason for him to be here, and we do not know what that is yet. Now, the wise of these lands are well aware of this, and they are making concerted efforts to figure out his intentions. But for now, we must see to our own. But this sword, it doesn't sit well with you, so why not get rid of it?
Well, it's the only thing my father left me. On top of, I want to make up for the sins and pain that it caused by having to do some good. And so far, it has done its fair share of good. We retaked, and I'll just kind of like recount the events I've had since I came back with this, the forest gate and everything else.
Right.
But telling her like my concerns of what I'm able to do with it. Saying I'm able to briefly control the minds of, or darken the minds of another, like a humanoid.
Well, you have been busy.
It's been a wild time, to say the
This
least.
is troubling. This is troubling.
While that ability has had its share of good, I didn't do anything like my father did. Don't worry on that one. Mainly I just did it to protect my friends or people I'm close to.
Well, not currently, no, but I'm sure each time you use that, it takes its toll.
And that's when I feel its influence the most. Which is why I don't use it unless I desperately have to.
I advise, if you're serious about holding on to this blade and not just getting rid of it or destroying it, I advise seeking counsel with Lord Elrond. He will at least provide some indication of what you should do with it or what can be done with it.
Well, and Lodris isn't that far from here.
It is not. Will you be staying with us? Or is this merely a conjugal visit?
I'll stay the night. It's been a while since I've been among everybody. Be nice to have a night of normalcy amongst kin.
Alright. It's good to have you back, though I will have to keep covering for you as to why one of our better rangers is not heeding the call home from Strider.
I'm gonna give a small smirk. Well, if anyone's good at those, it's you.
Yes, that's the job I signed up for.
Yeah, but I'm worth it.
That's debatable. Alright, go get something to eat.
And I'm just gonna give her like a hug before I go back.
Alright. You spend the evening amongst your brethren. And you have a good night of hunted meal, which, oddly enough, is not the same as a home-cooked meal, but to you it's better. It's better than being in an inn. It's better than having something cooked back in a kitchen. It fills you with comfort, even in this winter night. The next morning, you bid them farewell, and you head back towards Rivendell, which you're able to find your way easy enough. You meet Glorfindel at one of the main gates, who, upon hearing why you are there, he guides you towards the House of Elrond, which you walk through the house and make your way towards the back, towards the balcony that overlooks the waterfall. And as the sun sits high in the sky, you can see the water shimmering and shining back up towards the balcony, and the large, octagonal table sits in front of you. As you enter, Elrond turns around. Maethon of the Dunedain, what can I do for you?
And I'll give him the customary elven bow. I'll be like, Lord Elrond, I apologize for the sudden drop-in, though I'm sure you saw it coming.
To some extent, yes.
I'm just gonna cut to the point, my lord. Lady Morwen recommended me to come to you, and I just had some concerns that maybe you're the best one to address.
Very well. What plagues you?
And I'm gonna kind of the same thing I did with Morwen to him, is present him out the sword I took from my father. Go, what plagues me is this, and I just present it to him slowly.
He cocks an eyebrow at the blade. He reaches out and he grabs it and places it down on the table, and unsheaths it fully and places it down, and sees the sort of the black iron of the blade and its markings and how it's constructed. Where did you find such a blade?
Took it from the corpse of my father.
I heard whispers beyond the valley that there was a group of fallen Dunedain, these dark rangers. Your father was one of them.
Unfortunately so. He fell into under some kind of corruption that I never got an answer to. But whatever he did, it controlled those dark rangers, and when we killed him, they fell as well.
It's a terrible fate to be Hastadra Hill, but... So, this blade itself plagues you, and I doubt you don't mean that in an emotional manner, though I'm sure it does that as well.
Well, I try to make up for it, as all the bad it did, I would like to at least earn the reputation of some good. But you are right, it's not just emotional, it's, I'll say, mental. The sword, when I use it, and I've only used it in dire situations, it allows me to control others, like my father did those rangers.
He picks up the blade and holds it up in front of him to eye it, and then brings it down as he sort of examines the whole of the sword. You say this has the ability to bend the mind to somebody's will.
It does. But so far, I've only used it twice in the time I've had the blade. And they were both dire situations where I or another close to me were about to perish.
I'm sorry to hear that. Though, as it might come to no surprise to you, this blade is cursed.
And that's what I was hoping you could answer, my lord. Since I've taken this blade, ever since I use its influence, I feel a darker influence over me. What I'm hoping, two things really, if I may. One, you seem to have an idea kind of what this sword came from. Morwen said it's not Dunedain made. It's not one of their swords. Could you possibly tell me where it came from?
Not entirely, no. Though she is correct, this is no Dunedain blade. It was definitely crafted in a different style. Something maybe out of Gundabad or Angmar, though it is nothing like either of them, it just bears similarities. It seems to be influenced by several forge types. There is some hint of Dunedain, some hint of humanity, if you will. The present concern here is the curse itself.
Which is my second question. Is there any way to lift the curse? While bending minds and whatnot has its benefits when necessary, I feel like it's not something I want to be exposed for in the long run. I fear it'll turn me in the same way it did my father.
Well, the bending of minds, though, you may see as beneficial right now, but you misunderstand. That is not the curse. The curse is the will.
And it's my turn to cock an eyebrow like, huh?
The curse is the very will of the one who forged the blade. Perhaps its original wielder could have been Adrahil, could have been whoever he got the sword from. It is hard to say. Regardless, the nature of this curse is the one to be hunted. While you bear this blade, forces of the enemy will seek you out.
I kind of shrug my shoulders like, what else is new?
Think back, has there ever been a moment of either unnatural amount of shadow forces coming after you, or perhaps acting peculiar around you?
Not since my father, no. Things have just seemed about the average.
Then you might be very lucky currently. But with things stirring in Middle-earth, that could very well change.
Yeah, Morwen tell me the enemy has returned. Though not as strong as it once was.
Not currently, no, and it would be best to keep that information on a need-to-know basis, if you understand.
As I do, my lord.
To answer your question, yes, the curse can be removed. Though there are few in Middle-earth that can. As he takes the blade, sheaths it, and hands it back over to you.
And I'll grab and put it back on my belt. Is there any recommendation to start?
Yes. Head east. Seek out an artificer of Ergion. Only they will be able to lift this curse.
I will do so at once. Thank you.
There are very few of them. There are very few of them around now. In fact, to my knowledge, there may only be one. And they do not reside here. I wish you luck, and tread carefully with that blade. Like I said, for as long as you bear it, you are hunted.
Understood. Before I leave, do you happen to know the name of this artificer? Just so I don't go in completely cold.
Yeah, she studied her here. Look for Nela.
Nela.
Yes, she departed here some months ago with her brother, heading east. To where exactly, I'm not sure.
Fuck. I just
That
realized
came back
something.
unexpectedly. And Nela, what's her last name? I don't even remember.
No, it's your fucking character.
Meliamne, I think it is.
Anelia. Well,
Wait, you met her?
yeah, that's why I was like, I'm doing like a. It's like that sounds familiar. Well, I shall make my way there. Hopefully, she can deal with this.
Oh, jeez.
If anyone can, she will be able to. She will know more on this than I. Good luck.
Thank you, Lord Elrond, for everything. And I'll give the custom bow and make my exit.
Safe travels. Alright. And that was Maethon's undertaking of seek out a lore master
Oh, wow.
to receive answers. So Maethon departs from Imladris, hangs around Eregion a bit, at least until the winter subsides, and then he heads back east. And then he spends the rest of the year beneath the canopies of Mirkwood. Nela.
Nela.
What are you doing?
Well, after a year of helping with the road, and having many of Vidar's words about Mojo, of course, sitting with her still, not like it wasn't already, you know. She will, at one point after taking a break and doing her due diligence as Mountain Hall chieftain, will make her way to Ruskabel to attempt to seek counsel with her patron, Radogast.
Okay.
For all she
So you-
knows, he's not there. On his rabbit sled, going for mushrooms.
So you make your way to Ruskaville. You go through the thick hedge gate of the town, and you see that large clump of trees in the back. You're very familiar with Ruskaville. You've been here many times. And you find the home of Radagast the Brown. As you get closer, there's smoke coming from the chimney. There's dozens of woodland creatures, either about the forest floor or even in the branches as well. You hear like a low humming coming from inside. Somebody is home.
Great. All right, Haru, do not try to eat one of them this time. You cannot eat them. Look, I just fed you, okay? Be nice.
Never.
All right, I will do a gentle knock.
You hear like clanging and clamoring of like glasses and bottles. You hear like furniture moving around. Yes, just a moment. The door opens up and there's like a puff of smoke coming from behind him. You see the tattered, like brown, earthy colored robes, and just the crazy, unwashed hair and beard.
Hi, Radogast.
Hello.
Is this a bad time? I mean, I came from Mountain Hall, so hopefully not. It would really suck to go back for nothing.
All right. Come in.
Okay, thanks.
Don't mind the mess, and you see it's like just everything is scattered. It's just there's like mushrooms growing out of books. and it's just like a musty smell inside. Find a seat if you can.
Yeah, Haru, just stand over there. Again, don't eat anything. And, she'll find some way, shape, or form to sit.
He can eat something, it's all organic.
Fine, whatever, you're allowed. Suddenly a mouse just loses its life. Well, I don't... Look, I wanted to, I guess, get your advice on some things.
Look at him.
Haru just eats that squirrel that's trying to hide in his beard.
I'm good with advice.
Man, there's a bird here.
What troubles you?
There's... I'm sure you remember the happenings of the folk moot with,
Which one?
well, yes, that's fair. With, Ingramer's son. It's now known as
Ingor.
Modred. Yes.
Oh, yes, him. Yes.
Well, I have, ever since that day, I haven't been able to shake off the feeling of needing to watch him, needing to have someone, looking after him to try to gather intelligence on what he's doing. It's been to everything that, Maethon, Vidar, and I have gone through together, and his, lack of hospitality when we accidentally came across, no, we were trying to head to Tyrant's Hill on purpose. You get the point. Nothing... It's all been bothering me since, and I don't know how much you've heard of what I've been trying to attempt or not, but the other leaders think there's no point in being concerned with him and whatnot, and I'm already losing sleep between him and these dreams, and I guess before I press any further, I wanted to see what you thought about on the matter. If you happen to know anything of this area, as this is your region, so to speak.
I make it my business to know. Well, I don't think it'll come any surprise that those are quite wicked men down there.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. Should I be concerned?
If you deem them a threat of such you say, then why not?
Well, then I suppose, what do I do if I'm the only one, at least among the rest of the Woodman leaders, that deem it so?
And make them see.
I should have known I would have gotten these kind of answers. Well,
You went to a wizard.
I went to a wizard, yeah.
They tend to speak in circles.
I know, and Nela does not have any sort of patience for that.
If you believe Modred and the men of Tyrant's Hill to be of such a threat, such wickedness, and no one else seems to believe you, then you must make them see. Garner support. Is there anything he's done that you can point to and be like, yes, he did it.
I mean, the worst thing he's doing is being annoying, which I'm sure you are aware of. And if he's not aware, she will talk about the happenings of just making trade incredibly difficult, and just people are still having to take the elf path to get all the way around, and like Sunset and Black Tarn are still somewhat isolated despite having them being more part of the Woodman, regardless of geographic location and everything, and just everything that she knows up to this point, she'll make sure he's aware of.
But I do believe, what is her name, Melioda?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Black Tarn. I believe her and golden hair fellow. Seowyn, yes. I believe the two of them have talked recently. They've actually sucked out my counsel on such a thing as well. About pursuing a alternative route between them. And it is not something that... It's Unstead and Black Tarn.
Oh. Not like here and there.
Oh, no. No, the travels between here and the Black Tarn, I do believe, are quite alright. Things haven't been gotten interesting throughout the rivers recently, but that I don't believe is any concern of yours, not based on what you're telling me.
No, I'm just trying to... I suppose the point of all this is trying to make sure he's not causing trouble, but he's certainly a thorn in the side, and I'm not one to keep a thorn there.
It sounds like to me what you're saying is that he's being annoying and a thorn into everyone's side, mainly because of what he's not doing. He's not preventing the goblins and the orcs in the south from having their way of the land, which is causing the trouble between the traveler between Black Tarn and Sunstead, and the trade has gone down as well, having to take the elf path because of such things. So it's his inaction that it sounds like is being the most annoying. Am I hearing that correct?
I mean, I suppose that's one way of putting it, but I'm not...
Well, how are you putting it?
Out of character. I'm not wrong based on my knowledge that he's been, like, preventing efficient trade, right?
He has not firsthand done anything. He does not stop orcs and goblins from the south from doing whatever. They have to come through his land, and he is not doing anything about it. That is what the big issue between Sunstead and the Black Tarn currently is.
Okay.
Unless you have empirical evidence of him actively doing something.
It would be somewhere in the notes between you and I about way previous knowledge that Nela started to gain when she first became chieftain, which is like literally years ago.
then depending on that knowledge, there's a chance Radagast doesn't know that. So that might be something that he's saying that, like, well, if you know something that he went out and did, go tell people. So point them out, saying that's what he did.
Okay.
That was him.
Okay. It's...
He agrees that they are wicked people.
Yeah. I guess I don't know how to make them see without being the one that looks like a betrayer first. I've had that happen once.
Betrayer? How would you look like a betrayer?
I mean, if I go out, or one that's purposefully looking to cause trouble. You know, they've been so hell-bent on keeping whatever kind of peace this is, letting sleeping dogs lie, but I'd rather have the dogs be completely gotten rid of so that you don't have to worry about them anymore.
Even dogs do serve their purpose.
I mean, I'm not concerned about the orcs and goblins in the area. That's very easy to take care of. It's been my whole life since getting exiled, practically.
For now.
Right. My point is, I guess I'm just not sure what to do is my point. I have a concern. No one else among the woodmen seemed to really see it, and I'm afraid of taking any kind of action that will, in the end, make myself look bad, instead of someone else who's actually a threat.
From what I recall of this Mordred, he was very upset. It will be the word I use. Upset at the fact that he was not welcomed into the Woodman Society. Right?
More or less.
Right. And yes, Seowen was somebody who had direct blood ties to the Woodmen, and yet they were casted out. And those that did not have direct blood ties were allowed in. Though, my point is that he has been potentially acting out in your eyes. As a result of all of this, he has a grudge, some animosity towards everyone. Have you tried reaching out diplomatically?
Directly to him?
Yes, who else would you reach out to?
No, I suppose I haven't. It's been more of just trying to stealthily watch him from afar. See how much that anger boils until it bursts. Potentially.
Those that could be planning things or have grudges or animosity can let that grow for as long as they wish, from a little seed that will grow as large and as tall as one of the great oaks or even one of the mighty trees of Mirkwood. That takes years. And it is only until then you might realize it's too late. And, much like a seed, a small ember can smolder and burn for a long time until proper tinder is applied, and thus bellowing into a greater fire. One that could spread. One that could take over the whole forest if it deems so. Things to think about.
I'm suddenly regretting not taking Vidar's invitation.
Is there anything else about him that you know that might be useful?
Is there
Anything?
out of character? Is there anything? I can't.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
It's been a while. What am I missing?
Yes, there is.
What am I missing?
Can I say? I mean,
Like my
I'm
notes,
not
those notes are probably like way buried in my Google Drive. What am I missing?
Nela just got news, like, at the very end of the battle from a companion.
Oh crap! What was that? Hold on.
I was gonna say that I remember with the 3 original people, he did necrotic damage to Maethon.
Yeah. Oh.
That in itself is a red flag.
I don't have that.
In the words of our person going through this right now, that's me.
I don't have. What was that from last session?
Vidar gave him the Palantary.
Oh, well, I was waiting to bring that up.
Well, that's what he's asking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what he's like,
well
do you know
then-
anything else? Anything that
I'm-
could be
so
helpful
then-
in any capacity?
Gotcha. So, Nela will do her best to recall everything that's from when the 3 of them first met Mordred, like the whole duel against Maethon and kind of forcing him in a way to, well, not force because it was a deal, but causing him to kind of, for Maethon to be at his own bidding in a sense. And I know Maethon brought up the details of that to an extent when the 3 of them just reunited, so Nela will definitely bring all that up. And then she'll say, on top of all of that, I suppose my biggest concern about all of this, especially about him, is
Yes.
it looks like he's got some sort of upper advantage against, well, anybody he knows, especially people here, considering that good old Vidar gave him something known as a Palantir.
Oh, you're gonna rat Vidar out. You just could have said he has a Palantir, but no, you gotta be like, Vidar gave it to him.
Well, that just came out as RP. The whole point was to bring up that there was a Palantir, so, which, yeah.
He listened.
Whatever that is.
He listens to you intently, nodding and making quips and remarks as you retell the whole several years of things.
My
especially
angst.
things that happened several years ago. It's like, oh yeah, he did this like 5 years ago, and he's like, oh yes, I see that's relevant now. Okay, yes, go, please go on, carry on. Yes, all the things I probably
It's
should have
like-
been told a while ago.
It's
but
like
all
a
right.
built-up rant that's just being erupted, and then she just goes, and he just brought up the Palantir.
And he kicked a squirrel. How dare he? Yes, carry on.
And that's when you finally get to the point that it's like Vidar gave him a Palantir, and you suddenly see him go,
What?
Yeah, and by the way, I remember trying to reach out to one of your birds when we were stuck in those cages outside when he was doing his lack of hospitality thing. No birds, no, not helpful. Wait, what? What about a Palantir? Yeah, he's got one of those now.
Tell me everything.
Well, from what my good friend told me, this was when Vidar and Maethon and Thea were getting ready to work in liberating the Grey Delve up, you know, across Middle Earth, and as some of them were coming down here to try to rally for assistance and liberation and mercenaries of the sword and whatnot, apparently Vidar had gone to Mogdred directly himself to try to see if he and his men would assist in the liberation of the Grey Delve, and part of that potential deal was that if Mogdred provided assistance, Vidar would provide this thing known as the Palantir, and from what Vidar then said, that
Curiosity.
deal did not go well. What?
Out of curiosity, where did he find this Palantir?
I have no idea. I wasn't there.
We have no further information on its whereabouts. Its
Because
origins.
I found it in Angmar, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Let me see.
it's just a matter if
Was
if
Nela
Nela
there?
actually knows.
Yeah.
No, Thea was.
It was Thea, but it was a matter if she ever learned of the information.
I mean, let's see.
It's not really it was not really pertinent to any conversation at any point, so
Yeah. Right.
probably not.
No, I mean, Thea's told me much of her travels with the two of them, but if she was there when she was there when he found it, because that's when. What? Well, because I kind of.
Troubling. Very
I don't.
troubling. There's
I
one in
don't.
Minas
I don't know
Ithil.
exactly.
Very troubling. There's one in Minas Ithil, and there's another out east.
I don't know. Say a name of something. Maybe I'll recognize it from what she's.
No. That's not the concern. That's not the concern.
Okay.
The concern is they're not all accounted for. And he has this now.
As far as I'm aware. I mean, Vidar gave me this news a year ago. Over a year ago.
He gets up from a chair and
Oh, yeah.
he walks over to his desk.
Yeah, time skip.
He pulls out a long piece of parchment. He unfurls it and just kind of skips and bounces across the floor, across the room, and like ends right at your feet. And he places the part of it on the desk. He takes out a branch that's growing in from the outside, and he just mutters something, and the tip glows, and he starts etching onto the parchment, writing some sort of message, and he tears it off, rolls it up. A bird flies in.
Yes. Take this. Take this to Isengard.
Oh.
With haste, go. Go.
And the bird flies out the window.
I look at Haru. I look back at him. And I go, I take it it's something I said.
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
The Palantir.
The what?
Is that not what it's called? The Palantir?
Maybe. Nothing to be concerned about.
Wait. I said all of that, and then you stopped me at talking about Vidar giving Mogdred something called a Palantir, and now you tell me it's not to be concerned about when you just write a letter to a bird and have it go where?
With that?
Yeah.
Coincident. Inadvertently, is that really out of the ordinary for me?
Damn it, he's right. Okay.
Yes. Regardless, I have sent word to a member of my order to seek counsel. So, it might arrive here, give or take, eventually.
Your ticket had to be escalated.
Please hold.
Escalated, but not any more efficient through the process of customer service. Sorry, you customer service reps out there, but I've been there, done that too.
We'll look into this matter, and I will converse with the members of my order to get counsel on how to proceed. Though I urge you to keep an eye on that one.
All right, that's what I was planning to do in the first place, but
Excellent, we have an agreement.
But now that I've mentioned that, and you were just talking about letting anger boil up until it explodes and it's too late or something, do I just continue sitting here and waiting to see what happens, or should I do something? Or for all I know, he could be knowing that I'm talking to you right now, I suppose, based on how Vidar described the thing.
Yes, he very well could be.
Oh.
We must tread carefully. I will not urge you in one direction or the other. Know that he is still a piece on the board to be played.
Great. Cool.
Of course, if you're very much willing to go down there and try and have a word with him or any matter, go right ahead. Though, if he has such an item, there's no telling what else he might have.
So it sounds like I should continue waiting, like I have been.
I am going to wait for word from one of my order members, and we'll go from there. But this is pertinent information that you have given us.
Well,
And
you
knowing
can,
this, and
you
to
can
know that he
thank the dwarf.
And to know that he has this at the time.
You could just hear the saltiness.
And to know that he has this in the time of his return does not bode well either.
His return?
Hmm?
Whose return?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was talking to myself again. Yeah, old friend returned, it's fine.
Okay.
Was I helpful in your question?
If anything, I am glad that you now know as much as I do, because it seems to be enlightening in a way for you at the very least, which I don't think bodes well in my opinion, but it's something better than just continuing to wonder if I'm crazy pursuing this trail, if it is one. Yeah, I guess it confirms what I should do next, or continue to do, or whatever.
The news is definitely alarming.
That's
But acting in haste is never good.
right. Alright. Then, as you requested, I will continue to keep an eye on him as best as possible. And, I can continue sending updates if you would like.
Oh, I will alert you when my, when the head of my order, comes here and we may converse further.
The head of your order? I didn't know
Yes.
there was someone above a wizard.
No, it's just another wizard.
Oh.
It's an order. There's myself, the Brown. There's the Wandering Wizard, as he likes to call himself. The Gandalf the Grey. And then there's the two Blues. And then there's the head of our order, Saruman the White.
Whew. Larger world. Alright.
Oh, yes, it's quite big. Used to be bigger. There used to be an island out there as well. Did you know that?
No. I don't think
Riveting
I did.
story.
Okay.
Yeah. Numenor.
I hear they're making a
Simpler
TV show
times.
about it.
Simpler times.
Uh,
Whatever you do, tread carefully.
okay. I will. I'll do my best with that.
There are greater things at work here than you think.
Does that happen to involve the dreams I'm getting?
What kind of dreams?
It's been a while now. Figured I'd ask while I'm here. If you still have time, I'm getting nightmares constantly, as if I'm not freaking out about Moldra to begin with, but these dreams involve.
Lay back on the couch and start from the beginning.
I'm not looking for a therapy session. Ah, damn it. I lay
fine.
back.
It's fine.
Dreams of this black land, and the air is thick and harmful, and
And how does that make you feel?
uneasy.
Uneasy. That's a good word. Hopeless. Self-doubt. Afraid. Hot.
Yeah. Are you getting these too?
No.
Oh.
I just have an interest in dreams. Some say there's a meaning behind them.
Well, this one's just, it's constant. It's like a presence of sorts, and a while ago there was one that was a little different. It showed like a flame, and all I could hear was, "I see you."
Do you ever feel like you're being called? Hold. Drawn away.
That hasn't
Hayao
necessarily.
Miyazaki spirited away.
I don't think so.
That's good.
It's just unnerving. And it's way too consistent. It's more consistent than someone else I know that's being plagued by a different dream.
Does this make you feel watched?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm not the only one getting this dream either. Maethon's been getting them too.
Good.
Am I saying more alarming things? What's happening here?
Magical clicky pen.
So Michelin.
I'm talking to
There
a wizard as a
is-
therapist.
There's a veil around the land that is causing things like this to happen. I have been looking into it. It has driven me. It has brought me to the gates of Dol Guldur recently. It was an
Oh,
investigation.
was that the
Yes.
party in Lorien?
Yes.
They brought.
Perhaps.
They were.
Fine, I wasn't there. I left. Anyway. The point is.
And that's
had
right.
other
Oh my
business to
god, I
attend to.
totally forgot about all of that they found at Dol Guldur.
Point is that there's a great evil lurking amidst the trees these days. And myself and another of my order have been seeking out perhaps the source, the cause. And the bits of information you just brought me are very enlightening.
Alarming, enlightening. Similar words.
Exciting's another one.
It's not exciting.
Depends on what side you're on.
Okay. I suppose that's fair. I look over at Haru. Is he eating an animal yet?
He's like eyeing a squirrel. He just like cocks his head at it a few times. He hops closer, and the squirrel's just like hanging on the side of a tree. And as Haru gets closer, the squirrel looks at him, jumps off, smacks him across the beak, and just runs away.
Do better.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Any idea how old he is?
Have you counted the rings?
The what?
Nothing.
I'm not pointing at the tree, I'm pointing at the bird.
Oh. Much clearer.
Look, he's already older than your average eagle, not to mention he's obviously bigger than your average eagle, and it's just getting a little concerned about my friend. He's talking to a bird.
He's about 175.
What? But
That or he
What?
said 17. I'm not good in eagle.
well, neither of those make sense. I found. Okay. Is he? Do I? I guess. Do I need to retire him essentially? Give him a.
Oh no,
More
he
pleasant
is
life.
one of the healthiest birds I've ever seen.
He's not old.
No,
Oh. Well, I made fun of you for all that. My bad.
not with his bloodline.
Bloodline. What?
What?
Birds have bloodlines? That
Now,
bird
if you
has a
don't mind,
bloodline?
I am quite overdue and I still have my evening tea
Wait.
to get brewing, and I've got to pick the leaves outside and amongst the mushrooms. If there is nothing further here, I will alert you in the head of my
What
order,
bloodline?
Saruman.
What bloodline are you talking about?
No, I said nothing about bloodlines. Please, yeah, out the door, out the door. I will see you later, and
bloodline,
do give my
bloodline.
best to Mountain Hall.
What kind of bloodline do you have?
Peeks out the window. Go away!
Shoo shoo.
All right.
And that will
Well-
conclude Nela's undertaking of meet.
I think I have more questions than answers, but I should have known that talking to a wizard,
Yeah,
especially that one.
he may have been under the
He's all we
influence at the
got.
same time.
He's the wizard we have at home.
There are other patrons. You could also try and go meet them with that undertaking, but
I
I
want
mean, but
Saruman to be my patron.
I mean, Nela has him as a patron, and it's not like she's gonna randomly go to someone else and be like, "Yo."
so
Oh God, my head hurts.
that concludes the fellowship phase. There's one other thing a character will do in this time, but I will get that to them in secret, and it'll be up to them whether or not they divulge any of that. But that will conclude.
What?
Obviously, it's not me or Lindsay's character. We're both surprised.
Great poker face.
Huh?
Huh?
Wait, no, what? I'm genuinely curious.
If it involves you, you'll get a DM.
I'm gonna.
Essentially. That would take us to the end of the year 2953, and we will
Oh,
begin
jeez.
the next arc in 2954. And we will cover what happens there next week. So, with the 2 years concluded, the Old Forest Road in the process of being rebuilt and reestablished, the Fellowship has parted ways, and we will see if their paths cross again next arc. So thank you all for joining us tonight.
Woo!
I hope you enjoyed the interlude epilogue of the Bjorn arc, I suppose.
Deal.
We will be back again next week, and you can join Lindsay tomorrow with our paint and chat, and you can check out all the other fun things we do. Feel free to follow us on here at Twitch and on Twitter and YouTube as well if you want to catch up on our VODs, and of course all of our individual socials and all the other crazy things we do. But thanks for joining us, and we will all see you later. So stay proficient as an adventurer.
Ooh, I like that.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!